Yellow. Whoa, bro, I'm such a soccer player, dude. Yo, I'm not even Italian, bro, but I'm a soccer player, bro. On September 28th, girl, it just happened to be We Day here in Toronto. Girl, and who ends up showing up as a special guest? It ends up being King Gaten Matarazzo. Abort. I wasn't sure if a lot of people would know who Gaten Matarazzo is, or even if a lot of the Stranger Things fans would kind of YouTube him, so that's the reason I kind of just made it as I met the Stranger Things cast. In brackets, I put in exactly who I had met. Girl, I met King, who wears the damn crown, Gaten Matarazzo. It's kind of weird that I'm even like talking about it like in that kind of sense, because he is literally like maybe 5. For anybody who's watching this, if anybody, once again girl, if anybody's ever watching me, Gaten Matarazzo is one of the main characters in the Netflix series Stranger Things. Let me just quickly say, I actually don't watch Stranger Things. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, girl, like how? Like how don't you watch Stranger Things? Like everybody watches it. I'm more of like a 90210 girl, like Gossip Girl, like those are my kind of shows. Anyway, so it was September 28th, girl, it was We Day. I went down to We Day to actually meet Kelly Clarkson and Vanessa Hudgens. I have a separate video on meeting those two damn queens. But I actually didn't go through the entire list of all the special guests that were attending We Day. So majority of the people who I would see were kind of like a shock to me. I was like, oh really, like they're here? So after I met everybody, it ended up being Gaten Matarazzo that was the last person to kind of like do the whole red carpet interviews idea. So my friends and I were actually just waiting around to kind of see who the last special guests were, kind of, you know, we were just hanging out. I see this like boy coming up, walking kind of towards us, going into the venue, the Air Canada Centre here in Toronto. And not only were my friends also kind of like chanting for him, but other randoms were kind of like greeting him as well. This guy that I'm talking about. My friends are like, oh my god, they start kind of like freaking out. They're like, Gaten, Gaten. And then some randoms next to me were also like, oh, Gaten, yes, Gaten. And I was like, who? Girl, please don't take me as like ignorant or inconsiderate. I genuinely don't watch Stranger Things, so I'm not really familiar with who this actor is. Keep in mind, he just also came out of the womb, so it's not like he's been like around for decades. So they're all like yelling his name, and I'm literally like, you guys are like kidding, right? Like, he's literally wearing like DC shoes. Like, he's a middle schooler. I don't want to sound like rude because I genuinely am not, because after doing my research on him, like, yes, King, like, wears the crown, like, owns the damn castle, like, Gaten King. But back in the moment, like, when I didn't know who he was, I was like, girl, we are grown adults. Why are we screaming for him? So anyways, as everybody's like screaming for him, I'm like whispering in the ear of my friend, I'm like, girl, who? I was like, who is this? I literally, when he was like coming up and saying like, hi, I was literally like, girl, this must be the voice of Caillou. Like, there's no way people actually know who this is. I just remember in the moment being like in shock, being like, girl, we were just screaming for Vanessa Hudgens and Kelly Clarkson, all of a sudden we're screaming for like a damn toddler. But nonetheless, girl, I caught up, I watched some of his scenes in Stranger Things, girl, once again, King. People are asking him for pictures, and he was so sweet, man. Like, I'm not even kidding you, he was like so awesome. He was doing it with everybody, like taking pictures, girl. And it was like, it was just so strange to me. I was like, wow, this guy has a fan base. I was like, okay, like, you know what? Maybe this guy's gonna grow up to be the next Brad Pitt, girl, so let me get my selfie while I'm at it. And you know me, like, I've said it in multiple, like, meeting celebrity videos. I am super sweet when it comes to celebrities. I'm not kind of like, it's not that I don't get starstruck, like, I do, obviously. But I tend to kind of, like, hold back the fangirl because, like, the celebrities have seen that enough. So I kind of, like, make myself more approachable. Gaten's like walking, he comes up to me and I was like, Gaten, like, yes, can I get a selfie? Like, and he's like, yes, of course. And before he goes in to get the selfie, he literally, keep in mind, this guy is like 15, like 14, 13, 16, girl, I don't know how old he is. So mature, man. Like, he is so professional for the age that he is. He like, literally, before we take our selfie, he takes out his hand. He goes, man, it's nice to meet you, my name is Gaten. He's like, what's your name? I'm like, oh my god, that's kind of like awesome. Like, I was like, hey, like, my name's George, like, it's nice to meet you. So that was actually like really great that he did that, because it was actually like me knowing who he was, just meeting who he was for the first time, like getting to know him. Like, I didn't know who he was. So that was a great like first impression, like introduction. So he was like, hey man, it's like, my name's Gaten, it's nice to meet you, what's your name? I was like, hey, like, my name's George, like, it's awesome to meet you, let's get our selfie, girl, let's take our cute pic. So we get our picture. So let me insert the picture of me and Gaten, girl. Here it is, yes. I know, girl, it's pretty damn slay. So after that, he's about to like make his way, but before he does that, I wanted to kind of have like a genuine conversation, like a quick little brief conversation. So I was like, oh, is this your first time coming into Toronto? And he goes, and he's like thinking, he's like, no, this must be like my 3rd time. And I was like, girl, third time? What were you damn doing in Toronto and I didn't know, girl? Like, I know when people are coming in and out of this damn city. And I was like, oh, really? Like, that's kind of like a lot of times. He's like, yeah. Huh. I didn't even like bother to continue into conversation. I was just like shook, girl. I was literally like, oh, okay, 3 days. And then here comes my fakeness. People can come at me if they want, girl. I understand. Like, it's just the dealio, I guess. So as he's walking away, I'm like, girl, I love Stranger Things. You're just so good in it. Little does he know, I've never watched an episode of Stranger Things. And he's like, really, man? Thank you. Like, that's awesome. Thanks, man. Thanks for loving the show. I was like, no problem. I want to watch it now that Gaten has literally given me the most amazing first impression for, like, a teenager. You know what I mean? Like, people who have been in the industry for so long. Girl, won't even be that humbling, but a fresh out of the womb child who's doing so amazing on Stranger Things literally shakes your hand to get to know you. Like, for any Stranger Things fans out there and are curious to know what the cast is like, the one guy I met from the show, Gaten, is super, super awesome. Just so you guys know, if you guys are watching that, he is literally humbling, he is sweet, and he is a damn professional 15-year-old or 16-year-old, however old he is. Anyways, girl, this is coming to the end of my video. For anybody who's watching, if anybody's ever watching me, I will talk to y'all in the next video. TTYLs.